Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another card making tutorial. And we're using sweet ice cream today. Thought it was time that we thought about some summer weather, although it has been rather wet here in the UK at the moment, and poor old Canada's sweltering in record-breaking temperatures. So I thought we'd use this today just for a bit of fun, make some nice fun cards. This is the sample card that I've used. So the card base there is Blackberry Bliss, and then I've used Rich Raspberry and Melon Mambo to do the other elements on there. So hope you like that. Of course we're going to switch up the colours, so I've gone from purples and pinks to greens and blues. So we're going to use Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana and Granny Apple Green for the card I'm going to make with you now. I'm going to put those to one side. So I've opted for the Bermuda Bay to be the card base and the sentiment, okay, just to bring that in there, and then I'm going to use Granny Apple Green for the layer. Okay, so the layers I'm using today are 1/2 inch smaller than the card base. Okay, so if you just take off 1/2 inch on your card dimensions, you'll get that, and then a further 1/8 inch just on there. Okay, all right, so that's our base layers, and in fact yeah, we'll do that at the end. Other bits and pieces I've got a bit of scrap there for some lolly sticks. We're going to do some stamping and we're going to do some die cutting. So I'm going to do my scalloped circle in the Granny Apple Green, so that's going to be the one that frames everything. So I'm just going to have that ready on my cutting plate for when the other bits are ready to do as well. I'm going to keep that to one side, and we'll die cut from this piece of cardstock after I've stamped my ice lollies. Okay, so we are going to use these two stamps that sort of come together to make the ice lolly. So you can make the lolly sort of longer by positioning your stamps in a different way. Alright, so you're going to get slightly different results every time. I'm going to use the Coastal Cabana and the Granny Apple Green for those elements. So let's go with the Coastal Cabana first. And so I'm going to do the sort of bottom half of the lolly, if you like, in the Coastal Cabana there. Isn't it a lovely colour? I love Coastal Cabana. And then I'm going to do the top on a separate one. Okay, and then we're going to switch out our inks and do the other half in Granny Apple Green. Okay, so you just want to line up the sort of sides here with the image that's already stamped down. Okay, so you get the full image like that. I'll do the same with the base layer, so it doesn't matter whether you do the bottom first or the top first, you're going to end up with the same result. Just lining up those side portions there. It's just you're going to get slightly, so that one's come out a little longer than that one. And then you get more of this sort of highlighted portion in the middle there. All right, so all sort of you know, to your taste really. And then the only thing to add in is I'm going to do a couple of lolly sticks in crumb cake, and I've just got a strip of cardstock here to do that, just with some crumb cake. I'm going to stamp that at either end of this strip, and then we're going to have to do some fussy cutting because there are no punches or dies or anything that coordinate with these particular elements. Okay, so just going to grab paper snips. There is an ice cream punch, but that does the sort of you know, the scoop and the cone. It doesn't do these lolly portions. So what I'm just doing is just taking that down the edge of that image and then twisting my paper round to come round the bottom there and then up, and I'm deliberately leaving that strip at the top there to help me adhere that down afterwards. So we'll do the same with this one. One's a little closer to the edge of the stamping. Okay, so those are our lolly sticks ready to go on there, and then likewise we can just get these ones cut out. So I'm just going to take that off there. We're going to die cut our circle out of that leftover piece. So again, I'm just going to go around this to, you know, relatively simple shape to fussy cut. And if you move your cardstock around, especially over that bend, and gradually squeeze your scissor blades together, you should get a nice smooth cut. Okay, nice and easy. All right. And here we go with this one. Alright, so this is all real time, just so that you can see the full process and that it doesn't take very long to do at all. There we go. I say, if you move your paper, it's so much easier. The one top tip for fussy cutting. So there's our sort of ice cream elements done there. Alright, I'm just going to die cut those circles, so the layering circle dies, those have stayed with us. So I'm just going to run those through now. So we've got a granny apple scallop and a plain basic white that we're going to just run through there, like so. Just going to bring in some scrap paper because I want to do a little bit of stamping on there with this sort of little sort of, they're designed as sprinkles, but we're using them as you know, just little embellishments. And on the original card I just used the one colour, but I think I might use a bit of both on this one, just to sort of decorate the edge of that, give it some interest. Oops. Apparently we're doing another bit of granny apple green on that bit. There we go. Alright, so it's just to put a little bit of fun texture onto that portion before we layer it onto our circle. Alright, that's the only reason we're using that. Could have left it plain if you wanted to, just thought it added another little fun element to the card. So we can get that adhered together too. We'll just use some seal, just a couple of strips of that on there, and these layering circles just layer beautifully as they intended. Alright, that's ultimately going to go onto the card with some dimensionals, so I'm just going to grab some of those. 3 is nice to put on the back of a circle like that. and then we can do our lolly sticks. So what I did with that was just ran a bit of tape across the bottom there, and then just press that on top of the lolly stick where I wanted it to be, and that's going to be nice and well adhered onto that image. And we're going to do the same with this one. So there we are. Alright, and then those guys are going to layer together themselves onto the back of our card. So a little bit of extra tape on there, not the back of the card, I beg your pardon, onto this circle. Just pick a bit that you want to have showing. So I think that looks okay like that. Okay. My chair is squeaking like nobody's business. Right, let's get our other layers adhered together. Our granny apple green. Like so. And then I'm going to use the I'm actually going to switch it out for the happy birthday, which I haven't actually got out onto a block. So let's just grab that out of the stamp case. I did thank you on the other one, but we'll use happy birthday. And to get around the whole getting it straight thing, we're just not going to stamp it straight basically. We're just going to have it running across the bottom at a nice angle. Make sure that's well stamped, and I'm just going to drop that in this bottom corner. Good firm pressure, and there we have it. So that just ties that into the card base by using the complementary colour of Bermuda Bay. We can now get that onto our card base. Just making sure if you get your 3 borders lined up, the 4th will follow, like so. And then you can decide where and how your ice lolly elements are going to fit on there. Okay, so I've gone for having the circle central, and if it means that the lolly just sort of peeks out over the edge, then that's absolutely fine. So we'll just take off those dimensionals and get that positioned about there, and that is it. Okay, really fun cards with the sweet ice cream stamp set. I have to say I do favour this one, but again it's all about colour choices. Loads and loads of different colourways we could go with. The choice is yours, depending on what flavour ice lollies are your favourite, or you could just go crazy and do loads of different ones. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that. As always, the products I've used are going to be linked in the description bar, or the show more, or click on the show more button, and you'll see those. They go straight to my online shop. And if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd love you to subscribe. I post about 4 videos a week, so lots and lots to see. Thanks ever so much, everybody. Stay safe out there, won't you? And I'll see you again soon. Bye.